Oh, we had fun that night. We put on that special show when disgraced former FBI Chief James Comey published his tawdry memoir. Most notable, of course, for its weird focus on hand size and tanning goggles. Now he's out with a paperback version. And so naturally, the fawning establishment state media is colluding with the world's most sanctimonious man to help boost his ill-gotten gains even further as he cynically cashes in on his public service. CNN even put on a town hall special to help Comey flog his book, and in the process undermine America's faith in democracy, the rule of law, and our law enforcement institutions. Who cares, as long as we all get to trash President Trump and his supporters, right? But the most revealing part of the whole cynical circus was the way that Comey endlessly attacked other people's character.
I think he acted in a way that's less than honorable. And I think people like that, like Rod Rosenstein, who are people of accomplishment, but not real sterling character, strong character, find themselves trapped. It doesn't make me happy to say this, but I think he has lost most of his reputation with the way he's conducted himself. I think it's very, very important that Donald Trump, again, not because of his policy positions, but because he is amoral, is unfit to lead this nation, that somebody else be elected president.
Oh, my God. He's amoral. What an insufferably self-regarding mountain of smugness he is. Right, Lisa, I want you to do that face you were doing when you're watching it. It's probably not safe for TV. This guy, I mean, really.
I think it's safe to say I'm not a big Jim Comey fan, so we'll just say that as such. Okay, man, there's so many things I want to say about this, but let's start with the fact that this is a guy who wrote the exoneration for Hillary Clinton before finishing the investigation. Yet he signed off on a FISA warrant using baseless allegations, which is the dossier, and at worst, Russian disinformation. He also leaked memos to spur a special counsel investigation. We know this because he told Congress. And then he also had a private meeting with President Trump about the dossier. Somehow that leaked, and then that allowed the media to run the dossier and fuel. So that is Jim Comey in a nutshell. And I think what is going on is Comey, as well as congressional Democrats, know that once we find out more about the origins of the Russia investigation, they are in big time trouble. So right now what we're seeing is an effort to discredit both Attorney General Barr, also the Trump administration, and laying the groundwork for what they know is inevitably going to come.
Yeah, I mean, tell me, this whole business with it is just such a good example to me of what the left and the establishment doing the whole time now, which is projection, you know, accusing everyone else of being bad character when he's the one.
Well, why should they stop? Because that's exactly what the Russian dossier was. That's exactly was the strategy from the start. Right. We know that Hillary had involvement with Ukraine. We know the Bill Clinton speeches in Moscow, the involvement with their foundation. You know, those investigations are going to be, when the Inspector General comes out, Lisa's absolutely right, the Inspector General, Michael Horowitz, interestingly, they know what Horowitz is going to find. And if they thought that they were going to be fine, you wouldn't see this kind of frenzy. They're behaving in a way as though mommy is going to open the door any moment and going to find you red-handed. That's how the children behave. And so that's what he's doing. This, though, really is just the tip of the iceberg. They know that we've seen so little. And I think that with the Horowitz and the Barr investigation, they know that we're going to see this. What kind of corruption has to exist for that man to have been able to become the FBI director, to behave in the manner in which he behaved, and then to expect not to get caught, or in fact to be elevated when Hillary Clinton would win. And then he's also officially now a member of the Mean Girls Club. I've never heard a man go, it was the cattiness of what he was saying about Mr. Rosenstein, because he also knows that he knows what's going on. This is part of a crew, and they all know. Mr. McCabe, it'll be interesting to see where he falls in this, but I can't wait for all of this to come forward, for all of this to come out. And the American people, the issue becomes for us then is to not be afraid of what it is we're going to hear. It's going to be important. Americans have dealt with a lot in their government. We are a great generation, and we're in a position now. This show is an example, this network is an example of how the American people finally are in the lead and will be able to handle what it is we hear.
That's right. And Henry, I mean, exactly to that point of Tammy's just moved. This has become, I think, of much deeper significance than whatever the details are here. It is actually this battle. It's the populist battle against the establishment that are so outraged that, as I keep saying, as the peasants took power in 2016.
Yeah, no, they don't want us to rule. Jim Comey.
Glad you acknowledge you're a peasant, Henry. That's very good. Very good to hear. A peasant writing in the Washington Post. How great is that?
But look, this is happening worldwide. The people
Yes.
who have made their game by climbing ladders and making connections and being unaccountable are suddenly being held unaccountable through democracy. So they're projecting out, I love what you said, by saying that the people who are representing the people are actually opposed to the people. It's complete balderdash. And to borrow, from Mean Girls, what you're saying, they keep trying to make fetch happen. They keep trying to say that Trump is corrupt. Fetch isn't going to happen. You know who's at his highest ranking in the polls since February of 2017? Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's leave that there because there's something important I just want to say because it's Mother's Day. But great discussion, and we'll be.